What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks and Gary. And Gary, we were talking, and some news came in while we were waiting for Tyler to jump in. Man, that changes the slate, huh?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I had LeBron in my FanDuel shell lineup and Embiid. So with LeBron out now, I mean, that's going to change. That changes the slate entirely here. So we'll have to see what the projections say when it updates, but probably be off that game from a
Yeah.
DFS side.
So did
So
you pull Embiid out now too? Is that the
probably,
directive? Interesting. Okay.
yeah, I'll probably take him out.
All right, we'll get to that more later, but that kind of changed, Tyler, while we were talking and getting ready for how the show was going to go. How are you feeling, and what did you think of the NBA last night, Tyler?
Yeah, there was a couple upsets, but a lot of it stayed the same. I mean, we needed the Warriors to come through for the parlay, but then they just couldn't get the job done. Everything else hit, but we got a lot more games tonight, so we'll find some winners.
All right, yeah, and I can't wait to let's dive right in. The Atlanta Hawks will be in Detroit taking on the Pistons. Pistons +5, 227.5 yesterday. Not yesterday, 227.5 is the total, plus 169. I meant to say yesterday we were all on the Hawks, Tyler. And hey, little worried there at certain points in the fourth quarter, right? But with about 3 minutes to go, Trae Young completely took over the game. I mean, talk about guys that want to be in Madison Square Garden, right? That guy seems to feel at home there. So the Hawks get the win. Now, this is an interesting letdown spot, right? Because we know there's the rivalry, all the eyes on that game. Now, of course, they go. This is pretty much a low-profile game with how bad the Pistons have been playing as of late. We like taking the Pistons with points at home, but they've caught on, right? Because earlier in the season, we would be getting the +8 and the +9. Numbers would have been telling us the +5, +6. Now it seems like they've caught on. I think this is a pretty good number. I'm not sure what to do here. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm going to side with Atlanta here.
Mm-hmm.
I think they win. I'm going to leave the spread alone. I'm going to go right to the player performance doubles. I don't hate the 30-plus points on Trae Young. They knocked his threes down to 4+ threes and win. I like that better than the 5+ we had to play yesterday.
Okay.
And then I don't see a double-double listed for him on here, but I don't hate playing his 12+ assists and win at +230. So that's my approach to this game, because you see some of these guys on this list. Gallinari out. Lou Williams still out. Bogdanovich is questionable. I doubt he plays. Like, it might just be the Trae Young show again tonight, so that's how I'm going to back this game.
Yeah, Bogdanovich questionable, Gallinari out. Yep. So yeah, no different news. On the other side, though, we see some green, right? With Corey Joseph, Jeremy Grant, and Kelly Olynyk all returning for Detroit. Of course, they missed that game where the Pistons, let us down and fell to the Trailblazers at home. That was bad. Gary, how do we approach this one?
Yeah, so I'm with you guys on the Hawks here, from a betting side, and from a DFS side. Man, it's just, I mean, I know Trae, he's coming off that huge game. He had 61.5 DraftKings points. I think this game is going to be mostly a stay away for me. I mean, there's not a lot of news in here. Yeah, we have Gallo that's out, but I'm going to go elsewhere in DFS. I won't have anybody here.
No Kate Cunningham interest. Is Jeremy Grant just pretty much knocked that out?
Yeah, so Cade is 8,700 on DraftKings. I can't pay that price, and he's 8,200 on FanDuel. I can't, like, would I rather pay that, or would I pay 9,200 for Halliburton in a revenge spot? Or, I mean, Halliburton's even cheaper on FanDuel. So, yeah, I'm not going to be playing any Cade here.
All right. Anything more from that one, Tyler, before we move on?
No, that's it for me on that one.
All right. And Gary, you queued up the next game for me, because the Indiana Pacers are hosting the Sacramento Kings, the team that traded Tyrese Halliburton. The kid was young enough. He didn't, he's not, this is a business yet, right? Obviously, really emotionally upset. We were blindsided and shocked here in Sacramento. All of the trade rumors and news we heard was around De'Aaron Fox, so we couldn't believe it ourselves when he got sent out. He is questionable tonight, though, so that's interesting, as well as Chris Duarte and Isaiah Jackson. That's actually pretty big news there for the Pacers. I'd say probably their three most consequential players. Brogdon has been ruled out. I thought he might get back tonight, but they might sit him the rest of the season. I see De'Aaron Fox doubtful. But driving around, it didn't sound like, listening to the local radio where they love Kings and everything, doesn't sound like he's going to play for the rest of the year. They're kind of just saying, hey, they might just shut him down for the year. Sabonis as well here. I thought this was an interesting spot, Tyler. This line was up to 6 earlier. I'm wondering if Halliburton sits. You got to think he's really got to be hurt to sit because he's going to want to get out there and put it on his former team. I don't know. I kind of like the Kings there when it was a 6. I think maybe the line is right here. And I probably wasn't going to bet the Kings. I was just going to tell you that was the side I liked on the show. Tyler, what do you think?
I got to take Indiana here. Regardless if all three of them guys sit or not, I think they blow the Kings out. I mean, where's their offense going to come from? Fox and Sabonis are out. Like, Davion Mitchell's going to show up and just run the offense and do everything. Like, there's no Holmes to step in for Sabonis, so whoever plays center for Indiana should have a nice game. And just looking
but
at
that's the thing. They're pretty weak at center right now, too.
Yeah, they are.
Cosday, who Carlisle does not like. They don't want him getting run.
Yeah, but he could put up a nice score here. O'Shea Brissett could put up a nice score here. I think they win the game. I think they cover the 4 regardless of who sits or plays for the Indiana side.
Okay.
So I'm going to take all the Buddy Hield ones. The Buddy Hield 20-plus points, 4+ threes, and win. You're getting plus money on all those. And that's going to be my way of coming at this game because I don't want to back the Halliburton revenge narrative and him sit or play a little bit less minutes than he usually does. So I'm just going to take the guy that's not on the injury report. Give me Buddy Hield.
And there might be a little bit of resentment there for Buddy Hield's part, too. Of course, he knew he was going to be traded and wanted to be traded, so maybe not the revenge in that aspect, but probably definitely not a fan of the Sacramento team and their management. And, hey, there's stuff that I really like to see in this chat today, Tyler. Pro Kings tot. What do you think of Davion Mitchell over 18.5 points? Like our guy Robbie had said, Davion had 28 and 9 the last game. Any interest in running it back with the point guard out of Baylor?
I don't hate taking his over on the points prop because their points have to come from somewhere in a game that's totaled at 236. Mm-hmm. And you look at the overs in this game for both teams. The overs have hit for Sacramento 4 of their last 5, 6 of their last 8. And for Indiana, they've hit.
Is that games or seasons? Because this team never defends.
And then 10 of the last 13, 10 of the last 12 home games for Indiana. They rank both 5th and 6th in pace, so they're going to get up and down the floor. So you could definitely get up over that 18.5.
All right, so he likes that, Selly. Gary, obviously this is a wait for the news game, but maybe what do you think is going to happen and how are you going to approach it if that does happen?
Yeah, so I mean, just piggybacking on the Davion Mitchell train, he's the top play on the slate tonight. He's 4,600 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DraftKings. He's projected to 7 times his salary. He's projected to get 35 fantasy points. Indiana gives up the most fantasy points to the point guard position. I love all his overs. I mean, if you can get all overs for 25 plus, I like that too. He is going to, I think he puts up a monster score here, 40, 45 plus DraftKings points performance. He's going to be high owned, but I don't think you can get away from him here in this spot. I mean, they're just going to go up and down the floor. I mean, he's going to have the whole offense in his hands. So Davion is definitely my favorite play on the slate in this game. And going to other places here. So Tyrese Halliburton, he's come out and said, he wants some revenge and all this and that. He's 9,200 on DraftKings. He's projected to be less than 1% owned. I don't know if I can play him over there, but on FanDuel, he is 7,900, which is a $1,300 discount. Definitely like him on FanDuel at that price. He's projected for 43, which is, pretty healthy projection for 7,900. And it's kind of the same situation for Buddy Hield. He's 7,700 on DraftKings and only 5,900 on FanDuel. So definitely love those two. I don't mind putting them together with Davion on FanDuel and doing a little mini stack there. But yeah, those are definitely. But yeah, Davion is a smash play today. Like I said, I love all his overs.
All right.
Oh, and one more thing.
Go ahead.
Damian Jones looks like he's going to get the start. He's projecting to be one of the best value plays on DraftKings. Looks like he's projected to get 25 fantasy points, and he's only 3,700. He's center eligible, but he's going to be popping a lot. He's going to definitely be popular. And another guy that's popping a little bit on DraftKings specifically is Harrison Barnes at 5,500. He looks like he's put together some So, I mean, he's coming off a 30 DraftKings point performance. I don't see much upside there. I don't know if I'm going to go there. I think I'll just fade that because he is projected to have 35% ownership. So I don't think I'll go there. So it's just Davion, Damian Jones on DraftKings, and then basically all these guys on FanDuel are underpriced. FanDuel just does a horrific job of pricing this late in the season. So you could fully stack this game up over there.
All right. West Coast Jim says, what's Tyrese want revenge for? He went from one bad team to the other. Well, he's like, he actually wanted to be in Sacramento, which is rare, right? And he actually came out and talked about it, which was even more rare. And then he got assurance that he was going to be part of the rebuild and they were going to rebuild around him. So that's what, I mean, my guess is like, it's like, he like went out with like a fat girl and then she dumped him. He's like, wait, you're dumping me? Like, unbelievable. So that's probably what he wants revenge for. Richie Small says, no Lance Stevenson, no Lance to make him dance. What do you think?
So one guy to watch for, I think if Duarte, if he gets ruled out, Justin Anderson, he played 36 minutes the last game. Carlisle likes him. They were together in Dallas. So yeah, if Duarte is out, I wouldn't mind taking a shot on Justin Anderson. He's 3,100 on DraftKings.
I seen him get that minutes log the other day. I'm like, it's 2022 and Justin Anderson's playing 30 plus minutes in the NBA. This is ridiculous.
Carlisle loves that dude.
Tyler's like, is COVID back?
Yeah, I've seen his name pop, but he's in the starting lineup 30 plus minutes. I'm like, this is just amazing.
Hey, I like him. He's a UVA guy, so
yeah. 10 games to go, Tyler. We're gonna have a lot of that to navigate through for the next 2.5 weeks. From one terrible favorite team of the host to another terrible favorite team of the host. This time it's yours, Tyler. The New York Knicks, who were assured their 8th losing season in the last 9. Once again, the Knicks, I don't know whose owner's worse, and we can argue about that later. But tonight, they head to Charlotte to take on the Hornets. This line is -7.5. Interesting spot here. Charlotte's a high-paced team. That's definitely going to be tough for the Knicks to go against after that crushing game last night. Was it crushing, though? Did they even care, or did this team already think they were done? Tyler, how did you think the Knicks approached last night? How do you think they approached tonight? And what are your thoughts on the Knicks and the Hornets?
I mean, I think they put a little effort into last night. I think they get ran off the floor tonight. I mean, you look at Charlotte in this 5-game winning streak. They've won these games by – their last game was against New Orleans. They won that one by 3. Every other game outside of that, 21, 10, 18, 22. They're going to blow this team out spread. They rank 8th and 19th in opponents' field goal and three-point percentage. It's not the best defense, but when you look at the Knicks' offense in that same span, 28th in field goal percentage, like they're just going to lock these guys up. These guys are going to be on tired legs because we know Tibbs likes to run them into the ground. They can't cover guards, so Rozier and Ball are going to have big games. So I would play the Melo Ball 20-plus and win, the double-double and win. I like We the People's calling Rozier 20-plus and win. I would play that to 25-plus and win, the 4+ threes and win. And that'd be my approach to this game. And I'd take the Charlotte -7 because I think they're going to beat them by double digits.
All right, Tyler, just like the rest of New York, giving up on the Knicks. Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Tyler here. I think Charlotte gets it done tonight. But it's crazy because in the DFS streets, Randall is doubtful, so I don't think he's playing here. We're gonna have a lot of chalk on the New York Knicks side. RJ Barrett, 7,900, he's projected to be 45% owned. Obi Toppin, 3,400, projected to be 32% owned. So I think they're gonna need Obi a lot more tonight than they did last night. I know Obi got in some foul trouble last night. I think this tempo matchup is going to suit him a little bit better. If he can stay out of foul trouble, it's going to be hard for me not to play him at 3,400 here. RJ Barrett, though, I mean, he's 7,900, so I could be convinced to get off of him, but he's been playing lights out lately. I mean, he coming off 54 DraftKings points, 39% usage in that last game, 30 real points. Just an incredible play here. And for Charlotte, so let me backtrack. So with Randall out, I mean, that's going to raise the ceilings of Burks, Quickly, Robinson, Fournier. I'm never going to play Fournier, but definitely Burks and Quickly are interesting to me. And on the Charlotte side, I don't think I'm going to play anybody. I think this game is going to get a little out of hand. But if I was to pick one, it's always Rozier for me. LaMelo, for whatever reason, is always more expensive and higher owned than Rozier. And Rozier normally outperforms him. So if I was to have a bring back here, it would be Rozier for sure.
All right, and we the people likes Rozier 20+ and the win, and that's been a good bet over those last 3 weeks. Terry Rozier definitely doing well, and it's coinciding with the Hornets winning streak. Golden State Warriors will be in Miami taking on the Heat, or should I say the Santa Cruz Warriors, because Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, I'm not even saying Wiseman. I don't know why they put him on this list. Iguodala, Curry, and Otto Porter are all out, right? So this is definitely the Warriors JV squad tonight. On the other side, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, and Victor Oladipo, all questionable. Gabe Vincent's out. Gary Payton's in for sure. Tyler, I think it's tough to handicap this one right now because obviously if those guys sit, which they might, Butler, Hero, right? I mean, I wonder if there's going to be like, oh, you're going to sit your guys? We'll sit our guys too. Feel for this sort of game. Heat pretty comfortably in first place. Obviously, they can't punt all the games, but you got to think that, they could sit Butler and Hero and still beat the Santa Cruz Warriors. What are you thinking, Tyler? Do you think those guys sit, and how would you approach this one?
I mean, maybe one of the two sits, but I think one of the two plays. This is going to be a simple one for me, spread. They lost the Phillies bench unit and their G League lineup. I don't think Spoelstra's going to let them do it 2 games in a row, regardless of who's on the floor. So they have the defense, even with some of these guys out, to slow the Warriors down, because all you're going to have to do is stop Jordan Poole. They could stop him. Gary Payton doesn't really threaten me on offense that much, I don't think. So if I still had to pick a side, I'm taking Miami. And once that Bam double-double does open, like We the People says, that's going to be the player performance double to target, because if he's out there by himself, he's going to absolutely feast on this team.
All right. What do you think of this game, Gary?
Yeah, so it's definitely interesting on the Golden State side, because I know some people are already talking up Poole here. I just don't like it. He's 7,600. Miami's had the best defense, one of the best defenses in the NBA recently, over the season for that matter. The only guy that I would have interest in on the Golden State side, I think he's going to have to play 30 minutes here, is Jonathan Kuminga. He makes for an interesting pivot from Obi Toppin. He's 4,100. They're both power forwards. And Kuminga is going to have a third of the ownership of Obi. So he's definitely an interesting tournament play for me. Like I said, I think he's going to have to play 30-plus minutes here with these guys out. And on the Miami side, yeah, I definitely think one of these guys is sitting. Jimmy had a quote yesterday or the day before yesterday, something that, he's not one of these guys that likes to sit. So I would have a feeling here that it's Hero that's going to sit. But I think definitely one of them is going to sit. But I do like Miami to get it done. And Bam would be my only option for DFS, but I don't think I'm going to go there either.
All right. Good breakdown there. Brought to you by runpuresports.com. Promo code GETBETS. Join it. Brooklyn Nets +1 heading to Memphis, taking on the Grizzlies. Total 237.5. Pretty much even on the money line. I don't even know why you'd lay the spread here. This is a fun game, Tyler. Obviously part-time Kyrie in effect, averaging 27 points per game in the few games that he's been out there. They obviously try to feed him here. Ja Morant missing for the Grizzlies, but that's not been a problem for them this season. 14-2 straight up with Ja Morant out of the lineup. And so this is a team, they're deep. And I think that's because when they go to the bench, they're not losing a lot, right? Well coached. Everybody knows their roles. I like this Grizzlies team here. I like them here against the Nets, although it's tough to go against Kyrie and KD the way they've been playing. They've won 5 out of the last 6, and the one they lost, right, was that one where Spencer Dinwiddie had to hit that miracle shot. So it's not like they've got blown out or had a bad performance at all. Some interesting news we're waiting on here. Did we find out about Seth Curry? So he's questionable. Dragic is doubtful, and Drummond's in.
Dragic is just the home Kyrie. Like, he'll play in the home games when Kyrie can't play. The moment Kyrie can play, like, all right, go sit down, old man.
I wonder if they signed him for that reason. Like, hey, bro.
I mean, every game Kyrie's been in, it's like, all right, you can go take a little bit of a rest here.
Yeah, and we're never ones to ignore the narratives. It is Kyrie's birthday today. Tyler, I like the Grizzlies here. Don't love it, and I think I could be swayed. Tell me what you think on this one.
It's tough. I mean, it's literally the game of, does the star power overpower the better team? Because Brooklyn has the top 2 guys on the floor, but then you look everywhere behind that. Memphis probably has 3 through 10?
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough. And it's weird because the Memphis matchups are also good. Like, Jaren Jackson should absolutely dominate this Brooklyn team. Adam should be able to feast on the inside. When they pull the starters off for Brooklyn, this bench for Memphis should be able to run right through them, melting in these guys. But I think the Tyus Jones versus Kyrie Irving is going to be the bigger difference here. So I'm going to side with Brooklyn. Give me Kyrie the 4+ threes like you're talking about in the chat, the 25+ and win. Give me up to 30+ and win. I mean, it's his birthday. We've seen guys go for 50 on their birthday recently. So we all know he's going to try for it. So I'm taking it.
All right. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, I'm definitely on Brooklyn here. I think they get it done here. I mean, Kyrie's going to play every minute of this game, and he's going to have the ball in his hands the whole game. I mean, we've seen it before in other games. KD kind of takes a back seat when Kyrie can play. I think I like – I mean, I even on FanDuel earlier, I did a same-game parlay for Kyrie 40+ and win, and it was – I mean, I forgot what the odds were, but it's astronomical. I don't hate taking a shot at that here. For DFS side, I definitely like Kyrie. DraftKings, he's 10-2. Kevin Durant's 11K. I'll side with the birthday boy here. And nobody else here from Brooklyn, obviously, when these 2 guys are in for me. And probably the same thing on FanDuel for the Brooklyn side. Definitely love Kyrie here. I think he puts up 40 real points plus, obviously. And on the Memphis side, so with Ja out, that's going to bring Tyus Jones into play. He's 4,600. He's going to be popular. Last time he put up almost, I think, 30 DraftKings points in the spot, 4,600. He smashes that price tag. So he is a good play. And all these secondary pieces are good plays too. I'm never a Jaren Jackson guy in DFS. He's 6,700. I just can't pay that. Desmond Bane's in play for me at 6,900. Probably not going to be in. I only play one team, so he probably won't be in my lineup. Still, if I have anybody, it's probably just going to be Tyus here on the Memphis side.
All right. Well, it looks like it's Greg's against the world because Memphis is the bet tonight, says Gregory Russo, and we'll see who has bragging rights for that one on tomorrow's show, Tyler. The Utah Jazz in Boston taking on the Celtics. Celtics lane 4.5 total, 215.5 plus 169 for the Jazz on the money line. Tyler, I can give you a huge breakdown, but I can just say I'm not going to bet against the Celtics until they give me a reason not to, right? I don't care if it's the Jazz. Well, Jazz aren't as good as home either, so I mean, it's like we have extra incentive here. Not only the Celtics have been winning, they've just been smashing.
But think about a spread. What was the breakdown for the Brooklyn-Utah game? Who covers the wing? Now you got another one rolling right through the door. It can give you 30. Mm-hmm. Give me Boston here. Tatum 30+, 35+. They have nobody to cover them. Who's going to cover them? Royce O'Neal? Like, they have no defense to stop wings. So expect Tatum and Brown to have big games. I'm siding with Boston here. And Utah's best path to winning is running that pick and roll with Mitchell and Gobert. Well, Williams is waiting on the back end to stop Gobert, and Marcus Smart's going to be all over Mitchell. So give me Boston here. I think they get the job done.
Yeah, need to mention Smart and Williams both probable, but I'm expecting them to be in the game. Gary, what do you think?
Yeah, so I also like Boston here from the bet side. And for DFS, I think this is a pretty easy game for us to cross off. I mean,
okay, yeah,
probably one of the lower totals on the slate. 2 teams that play. I mean, well, one team specifically that's the best D in the NBA right now. I just don't. I mean, I don't see myself paying $10K for Tatum or $9K for Donovan Mitchell, or even $8,200 for Jaylen Brown, and all these ancillary pieces are priced up to $6K and above. So I think this is an easy stay away for us.
All right, stay away from DFS, but the whole crew likes the Celtics here. Nick in the chat's going the other way. He likes Donovan Mitchell 30+ and the win. We the people staying away. All right. See, that's what you can do when there's so many games on the schedule. The Orlando Magic are -2 headed to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. Total of 222. Thunder plus 107. All right. let me see what's going on with this injury report, because this was a game that I thought was pretty ugly. We'll go through it. Markelle Fultz out. Jalen Suggs out. Gary Harris questionable. Wendell Carter questionable. Derek Favors out. Kenrich Williams out. Shea questionable. I mean, kind of some wait for the news here, and I'm happy just completely fading this game. Tyler, am I leaving money on the table?
Nope. Simple breakdown here. SGA plays. Probably side with OKC here.
Okay.
Take his props as over 30+ points plus assists. If he's out, just ball this game up and throw it over your shoulder. Because
right,
I mean, Orlando should win, but seeing Carter Jr. on that questionable report too, if he sits, that kind of throws their whole team into a whack. And I just want nothing to do with this game outside of SGA. So that's my breakdown on it.
All right, Gary. I know that we don't like it from betting, but it's hard to ignore from DFS with all these people being out and potentially more. How do you approach this game? I mean, I can imagine if Wendell Carter's rolled out and Shea's rolled out, you're going to have a piece of it, right?
I mean, yeah. So those two pieces of news are crucial here for this game in order to break it down. Everybody that I'm listening to around the industry seems to think both of them are going to sit tonight. But it's really hard to break this game down without that news. I mean, so on the OKC side, if SGA sits, I mean, Trey Mann is 5,200. The coaches said that they want him to take the offense in his hands. I mean, he's going to be a smash play if SGA is out. I mean, this Orlando team cannot guard anybody. So he'd be in play. Poku would be in play. I mean, all these guys would become in play for OKC. They're all under 5,500 for the most. I mean, they're all under 5,500. So they're all going to see massive minutes if SGA is out. But if SGA is in, I don't think I'm going to have any interest in these Thunder. I just like the other value on the slate a little bit better. And for Orlando with the Wendell Carter news, if he sits, I mean, that's going to who's that? Okiki gets a huge bump. Bamba's going to get a huge bump. All those guys. And let me see, what is Cole Anthony? Cole Anthony, I mean, he's 6,700. He's definitely in play with both guards out. So, I mean, yeah, so lots to wait on here, lots of news, and we'll be in the Discord chopping it up.
Just a general question here, because we're making this pretty good time. Orlando's in the rebuild. They got a lot of interesting players. Gary, do you think that they're going to be like a good team next year? Like, how far away do you think they are from like just at least jumping in that play-in mix?
Man, I think next year they can be, if they get Jonathan Isaac back, that dude is a beast. I mean,
yeah, 100% agree on that one. That they need that guy.
I mean, he is so good. And I think next year, I mean, if they gel a little bit, I mean, they have the pieces. I mean, they have Wendell Carter's a beast. Cole Anthony's, I mean, I wouldn't call Cole Anthony a beast, but he's a good guard. They're definitely more solid in the front court than the back court, in my opinion. But I mean, I think they can definitely contend for the play-in tournament for sure next year.
Yeah, let's hope they do that. Show Vivek Ranadive how to rebuild a team properly. Trade the stars, get the draft picks, nail the draft picks.
All they need to draft is a shooting guard, if you think about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
A solid shooting guard that can play defense, and they'll be set.
And they have picks coming too, right? Don't they have another one from Chicago? I think it's next year's, and
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a couple seconds there in that Fournier deal. So,
but
yeah, interesting jump for the Magic.
They could be picking top 5 this year, and maybe they grab the kid out of Purdue or the kid out of Arizona, and they just
who's the kid out of Purdue? They keep saying his name.
Jaden Ivey.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that'd be an interesting addition.
Yep. That's all they need, I think, because I think Isaac's their best player.
All right. We're on pace. Haven't missed a game yet, chat. What do you guys think about that? Phoenix Suns heading to Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. Suns -1, -103, -108. So it's pretty much even on the money line. They have this game even. The total is 239. Tyler, the Phoenix has one of the best road records of all time. Like right now, if the season were to end, it's like the second best road percentage of all time. They're 28-6 on the road. I know the Timberwolves have won 10 of their last 12 games. That's why it's even. That's why they're not laying the points, even though they have the best record in the league and the best road record in the league. But I don't care. I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. What do you think?
I mean, it's tough enough when they give us one game on a slate where it's like, yeah, pick the winner. Like, this is dead nut even. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to give us 2.
Yeah.
Now you have this one and the Brooklyn one.
I feel a lot better about this one though.
I'm
I
gonna
like
side
Memphis
with
in
you
that
on this
but
one
I
though.
love
Yeah,
Phoenix here.
give me Phoenix. I mean, Campaign's back, Jay Crowder's back. I know Johnson's still out, but seeing Cat questionable, I know he played last game when he was questionable. He should play again tonight. I think Ayton should be able to beat him up down low, but Cat should be able to take him to the outside and work him. And then you look at all the other pieces. I think Booker's going to absolutely cook that backcourt. I mean, maybe Beverly gets up in him a little bit, but you don't want to piss Devin Booker off. It's not the same as pissing like a Luka off. He'll just start lighting you up and go dead silent. So I'm going to take the Booker 30+ and win, the 4+ threes, and the 35+ and win, because you're getting great value on him with this game being a pick 'em. You're getting like 3-1 on those props when we were getting like plus 150.
Oh, I can't wait to make the parlay today. Gary, we both like the Suns. What do you think?
I'm with you guys. I mean, I don't know how this. I mean, I get why it's -1, why it's so short here, but I think it should be 3 or 4 probably. Definitely like Phoenix here, but it's a little different on the DFS side. I mean, like I said, we've gone through a lot of value, a lot of players that we like so far. The only 2 guys in this game that I would have interest in are the 2 studs in the game, Cat and Devin Booker. Devin Booker is 9,300 9,300 on DraftKings, 9,500 on FanDuel. Love him on both sites, and same with Cat. He's 10K flat on both sites. I'm considering on FanDuel. I mean, I had Embiid in my show lineup. I might go down to Cat in my FanDuel lineup. Love them both here. Nobody else for me though here.
All right. Anything more on this one, Tyler, before we move on?
The only other thing is just that auto bet on Devin Booker's points plus assists until Chris Paul's back, which is likely next game.
Yeah, I saw him on the injury report. Now he got ruled out, but at least he was back on the report. Like he's.
Well, they put when Underdog put the report out that he's like closing in on his return. Team's not rushing him. Like I think it's going to be next game. Maybe they get him out there for a few minutes and then they slowly work him back in before the playoffs.
I mean, if you think about it, it's perfect timing, dude. You'd want like 5 games. Right. I mean, just to get back in the groove.
This might make me actually be like, all right, this is the year they win it. Like if he's back and they get it back under their feet before the playoffs.
Okay. I don't want to go that far. I don't want to go there. I think there's a bunch of teams. Whoever comes out of that East is going to be a beast.
I mean, I agree, but this isn't the same Suns team coming out of the West that did it last year.
No, they are much better this year. Gary, what do you think the Suns' overall championship chances to win the championship?
Man, I just think that, like you said, I think the East is too loaded this year. I think it's going to be the East team.
Yeah, I kind of like the East over the West.
Are we worried the hell out of each other for like 3 rounds running a gauntlet though? Like say, just for instance,
I mean, you can argue.
Say they rematch. Say it's Milwaukee comes out of the East.
Yeah.
6 to 7 game series against Brooklyn to start off the playoffs.
But that's not that physical.
I mean, but still, those are close games.
Okay.
Then you say you got to go play Boston.
Okay, that's a physical series.
Then Miami's waiting for you. Another 6 to 7 games.
Yeah.
Now Phoenix is sitting there after they just coasted through the West because there's nobody in their path.
Yeah, but is it like you were on All Madden and you just dropped it down to All Pro, right? Like you're like, hey, it's a little easier, right?
Could be right, but I don't know. I think their bench unit's gonna be able to contend with Giannis this time. You're not gonna be putting Frank Kaminsky on them.
We'll have plenty of time to go over that. And hey, I reserve the right to change stances depending on how these teams look as they make their way through the playoffs. This one's not so fun, Tyler. Maybe you'll find something. I didn't like it. The Houston Rockets are +10 in Dallas, taking on the Mavericks without Luka. It opened at 14, was all the way down to 9. There's a little buyback with the Rockets or with the Mavericks there when it dropped to 9. I don't know why you're rushing to bet the Mavericks. I guess the Rockets are that bad. The total is 219. Rockets are +426 on the money line. If you're interested in that one, most people are playing here on the Rockets side, right? So you'll get the full complement of Rockets players here. Still, I don't know, man. This team's been losing by a lot. And normally my numbers will tell me to take the dogs. They're telling me to take the Mavericks here, but I don't even really want to do that. I'm fine completely staying away from this game. What do you think, Tyler?
If I had to pick a side, I'm taking Dallas. Just because the last 3 times we've seen Houston win a game, the next game they get the fucking doors blown off them. They lose the game by double digits, sometimes 20 to 30 points. We've had this same matchup in that same spot where it was me, you, and Glock talking.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, it's a little too many points. We're going to take Houston. It's like, wait, Houston celebrated their last win. Yeah. This is where they come out flat. Give me Dallas again. I just think that, and they went into that fourth quarter down in that game spread. They had to fight back and actually win that game.
Yeah.
I think they come out flat here, and I think they just get punched in the mouth by Dallas. Their defense takes over. Brunson and Dinwiddie pick up for Luka being out, and they just run him off the floor. So give me Dallas.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this one turns out. I definitely don't have strong on this one. We the People's going against you, but he's taking your guy Jalen Green. 50
I mean, if you think
to win at
Houston's
plus
winning
600.
it, you can really get some good value on them player performance doubles because they're plus 10. If one of their guys does pop off and they win the game, you're getting like a 6-1, an 8-1 maybe. So definitely worth a shot if you like Houston.
Nick likes Houston as well. West Coast Jam says that Christian Wood's been playing out of his mind. Gary, how are you approaching this one?
Yeah, so I'm staying away from betting. I don't like betting these big spreads. I probably would lean Houston to cover here, though. If I was gonna do it, I mean they're fully healthy. I know they're bad, but Dallas without their best guy, I think they can keep it semi close here. But I won't be touching it. And for the DFS, we got probably two of the chalkiest players on the slate in this game, and Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, 6,700, 6,400 on DraftKings, and 6,600 for Dinwiddie on FanDuel, but Brunson is only 5,300 on FanDuel. I think on FanDuel you just lock Brunson in at 5,300 and move on. He's projected to get 38 fantasy points, which is a massive 7.3 times his value. Just lock that into your lineups. I don't have much interest in anybody else in this game, though. I mean, I don't like the bigs for Dallas. I mean, they eat into each other. The last time these two teams met, it was the live final and of the DraftKings NBA live final, and Dwight Powell put up a 50-burger. I'm not counting on that again here. He's 4,800. There was some luck in that with Kleber getting into some foul trouble too, so I'll be staying away from there. On the Houston side, the only person I would consider playing, but I'm probably not playing him, would be Christian Wood here. I just like the price on DraftKings on him, but just Brunson, Dinwiddie, and sprinkle in some Wood if you're MMEing.
All right. Christian Wood definitely in play here. Philadelphia 76ers are out to 10 with that news there, Gary. It was around 7.5 before we jumped on here. Lakers are now plus 10. Totals off the board for me, Tyler. So if you've got one, let me know. Plus 370 for the Lakers on the money line. Tyler, is Russ going to do it?
227.5 on that total.
Okay.
And no, this game's going to get ugly. It was going to get ugly with LeBron in the lineup. So.
Man, that's too bad because I was ready for this one and I had prepped for it and I wanted to take the Lakers and I thought you'd be on the other side, right? And I figured it'd be some good content for everybody.
Yeah.
And then LeBron ruins it.
Yeah, LeBron out. I think even with him in there, I think they were going to lose this one because who guards Embiid? Dwight Howard?
Yeah, but we say that every single time Philadelphia plays and they don't win every game and don't cover every spread.
Yeah, but this is one of them spots where he's just going to absolutely dominate. There's nobody in front of him.
I don't think Dwight. Okay, first of all, Dwight Howard is your generation's top 40 player of all time, right? He should be able to at least. Okay, of all the people to guard Embiid. Okay, but all the people to guard Embiid that are currently in the NBA, besides the obvious ones, don't you think that Dwight Howard's not that bad an option?
I mean, he can't.
At least he's as strong as him. He's not going to get bullied.
When Embiid drags his ass out to the 3-point line, good luck. So that's the problem here is he's going to do that. He's going to drag him out, try and beat him off the dribble. So
I would rather have Embiid out of the paint personally, though.
Yeah, but if he goes right past you and now he's in the paint and you're behind him, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm siding with Embiid here, having a monster game. LA's not going to be able to stop him. Give me his points over. Give me his rebounds over. Give me the 30+, the 35+ and win. And then I'm not going to do much with Harden, maybe a double-double and win, but I'm not going to touch much of him because he just hasn't looked the same since he got there. But, yeah, Philly blows him out here, spread.
Let me just say, a 37-year-old Olajuwon could guard Embiid. Get your standards up, Dwight Howard. All right, Gary. How are you
get your guy out of the playing game, spread?
Which guy? Jokic?
Yeah. What's your excuse? He has no help.
He doesn't. That's valid.
He has no help.
He doesn't. He has the highest player efficiency rating.
That's all I hear. That's all I hear on Twitter
when he's off
when
the
they
court.
start to lose the games. All the Nuggets fans start stomping their feet. Where's Jokic's help?
right, we kind of got into two different conversations. Let's get back to the Lakers and the 76ers. What do you think, Gary?
Yeah, so like I said before the show, my FanDuel lineup had LeBron and Embiid in it as a late night hammer. Obviously can't do that anymore. Lowers my interest in Joel Embiid here too, but I'm sure that does for everybody else. So his ownership will go down with this news. So I think he's still a good tournament play. I don't think I'm going to pay up for him. I just think this game's going to be out of hand pretty quickly here, and I don't think he's going to see the fourth in this game. And yeah, I mean, man, I just don't know if I want to play any of these Lakers. Like I can't. I'm not paying $8,800 for Russell Westbrook. I just can't do it. I mean, he's going to have the whole offense, and none of the maybe some Malik Monk.
He's the one that always is the only one that's ever tempting, right?
Yeah, and he's 5,600, so it's not like I don't know. It's just a matter of is his value going to? I mean, am I going to like him more than others in his price range or cheaper on the slate? I doubt it.
Probably not today, right? With all those wonderful values we're going to get in the 3-4K range.
Yep. So I'm probably, like I said, in my one lineup, I'm probably not going to have any of this game, but it would be Monk. For me, I can't play Carmelo or Horton Tucker. I can't play these guys.
All right. Anything more on this game, Tyler, or the Denver Nuggets?
No, that's it. We'll jump to this last ugly game.
All right, well, we'll go back to our MVP debate later when the Nuggets are actually on the slate. The Spurs are -9 in Portland. The Trailblazers plus 345 at home, total of 230.5. The Blazers coming off that win over the Pistons, man. We like the Pistons. We thought they were going to get it done. The Blazers said, no, not yet. It's kind of fun, I guess, if I thought the teams both cared. Unfortunately, I don't think they do. The Spurs are a half game ahead of the Blazers right now, and the Spurs are 2 games behind the Pelicans, right? So technically they're still alive, but from what I've seen from these teams, the way that they're approaching these games as far as sitting players, the rotations they're running, they don't want to win. They want to be in the lottery, and why not? We know we watch teams, you're picking at 10, 12, 8. You're not turning your franchise around that way. You got to be in the top 5, and you got to nail the pick. So I think they're trying to move down both teams. So I think this is like interesting as far as it. But I'll tell you what, the way the Blazers have been playing, I mean, if you think the Spurs win, I don't think I'd be too afraid of laying the 9 here, right? It seems like if the Blazers lose, they might lose by a lot. They are at home, but this has to be the most apathy that we've seen from the Portland fan base towards the team in a while. And let's be honest, Damian Lillard and McCollum kind of spoiled them. They're not really used to being in the situation, haven't been since like 2014, 2015. So I don't know, Tyler, I've talked a lot about this game, but I don't have a play. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to side with the Spurs. It's not my favorite spot. I think they blow them out after Portland picked up the win. I don't see Portland rattling off multiple wins here to get themselves the worst lottery pick. I could see Murray having a big game. Maybe Jakob Poeltl has a nice one. So give me the total double and win. And then like a Murray 20 plus, 25 plus and win, because the double and win is -120. They really, like we the people said, they priced us out of most of these in this game. But that double and win's the only one I'm going to play on the Jakob Poeltl one.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Hart's going to sit again for the Blazers. So, Gary, I know you have to be scouting, but this is some G League level basketball here that the Blazers are putting forward. How do you approach this one?
I mean, yeah. So on DraftKings, I mean, I can't pay these prices for these guys. I mean, Trendon Watford is 6,900. Like, no, thank you. Brandon Williams is 6,800. No, thank you. Drew Eubanks, I guess in a revenge spot, is 6K, but no, thank you. Justice Winslow, 5,900. Ellaby, I mean, all these. I can't play any of these Portland guys. Even if I was playing 150, I'd just X this whole team out. I just can't pay those prices on this slate. And on the Spurs side, I mean, man, I think this game's going to get out of hand, but DeJounte could put up 60 DraftKings points in 3 quarters here. I mean, this is the nut spot for point guards. I mean, for every position, really. But DeJounte, he's only 10.3K. I'm not seeing any ownership on him either. He's got a healthy projection on him. He's projected for 35 minutes. I think it's closer to 30 minutes that he plays in this game. so that probably caps him a little bit. But I still think he can. I mean, man, he's an awesome tournament play at low ownership today.
All right. That's a lot of fun for a game that I don't think too many people are going to be too interested in. Hey, if there's ever a night to go to bed early and just get ready for, the day of basketball we have tomorrow, because of course the Sweet 16 will start, as well as a pretty good NBA slate. Hey, maybe call it a little bit early tonight. I don't think you'll miss too much, and we will catch you up on the show tomorrow. So Tyler, that's it, right? Chad, I didn't miss a game today, did I? Right? We got every single game here. And Gregory Russo's in the chat, so you know what he wants. It's the best bets. What do you got, Tyler?
I'm going to side with that Boston -4.5. I think they absolutely smack the Jazz tonight. They take away their best offensive strategy, and Tatum just eats them up. So give me Boston.
All right, you like the Boston Celtics. Gary, what's your best bet for today? Side, total, or prop?
I'm going to take Brooklyn -1. I like it a lot. I think they get the job done here.
Okay, then you guys left me the Phoenix Suns. I like Phoenix here to keep getting it done, 28-6 on the road. Don't have to lay any points. Yes, the Timberwolves have won 10 of 12, but like Tyler mentioned earlier, I think it's a great matchup for Phoenix, the way they get to use some length and athleticism and really beat them at the forward position. Devin Booker could be a matchup nightmare. Let's see how old Pat Bev really is. So that's going to be fantastic. 3 plays that I think that we really like. Obviously, I'm opposite with you on that Memphis one, but I didn't love it. But that was just the way that I lean there. Tyler, do you have a home run in store here? Tyler?
Sorry, I had it on mute.
Yeah.
We're going to roll with We the People's best bet, that Terry Rozier 20-plus points and win.
Okay.
We're going to roll with the Kyrie Irving 25-plus and win on his birthday. And then the Devin Booker 30-plus and win. That gets us 20-1.
All right. And Bet Online's player props around now. This is ridiculous. All right. Gary, thank you for joining us. I'm going to have to get that in, Tyler. I missed it. They finally came up with the numbers on Bet Online. Gary, thank you for joining us. Run Pure Sports is where you can find Gary at. What content do you have coming up this week?
I got the playbook on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. I put out a free article on the days that I don't have the playbook. That free article is up today for today's slate. Glock has the playbook today. He absolutely does a phenomenal job on it. AP just kind of remodeled the playbook a little bit, made it a little more user friendly. Like you can see the whole screen on your phone now without scrolling. So that's awesome. There's a lot of news that we're still waiting on tonight. We'll be in the Discord, letting everybody know the news. And we got the live show coming up here in about 20 minutes with the other guys, and then the Up the Lock show at 6. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Run Pure Sports, promo code Get Bets. Join it. I want to thank the chat for hanging out today, guys. You guys make it so much more fun, throwing in all your best plays. A lot of great questions. Let's give a bonus question because I missed it as I was, going through here. Richie Smalls wanted to know about McLemore at 3,400. Gary, I know you said you crossed him off, but if you want to just at least let him know why.
Man, that feels like a little bit chasey to me. Coming off a 30-point draft points game. I mean, man, we have so much better value in the earlier games. They're going to play. They're guaranteed usage, increased usage, more guaranteed minutes. I don't trust Ben McLemore.
Yeah, and as watching him on the Kings, I can see why. Tyler, you want to give him some words of wisdom before we get out of here?
Yep, just subscribe to the channel and be ready for tomorrow. We'll be back at 3:30 with another NBA rundown.
All right, 3:30 Eastern tomorrow. Boy, is it Wednesday already? Thursday, the return of JSU. Looking forward to that. 3:30 Eastern. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Run Pure.